Hello and welcome to Space Engineers. I'm Josh from the Outer Steam Gamers, and today we're looking at the new update. Hooray! Some of this is stuff I've put down here, but this particular thing you see here, this little series of magnetically charged clamps, is one of the new features of the update. This is the standard survival, well, this is actually the quick start, but the survival platform now contains this nice little thing here. Which starts out, I didn't place this block actually, it starts out with this block. So if you want to start out with a small ship that's magnetically clamped, then it's there, see? Stay still. Which is actually incredibly useful, because I've had an absolute ton of trouble starting out with small ships and then just knocking them about. Having the start of a small ship begin clamped to the floor is incredibly useful. So thanks, devs, for that. Next. The ladder is completely gone and has been replaced with this, which is called the passageway, I believe. Passage, yes. And it looks very cool inside. No way up other than jetpacking now, so you just jetpack up. But there are some other features. You can put them sideways, of course. Because of this bit on the top, which is hollow, you do bump a bit when you walk through. So you bump, 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 bump. Not too pleasant. But if you have it the other way up, like, say, this, the floor is pretty much completely flat, and it looks quite cool. More on that later. There's something I thought would be incredibly good for that. Next, here's something I've really been looking forward to. Colouring on the interior walls. I like using interior walls, but I always thought they looked a bit pipey and rubbish. Now they're coloured, which I'm sort of on the fence on, honestly. The problem I have is the same problem I have with the standard colouring. When these were just standard and uncoloured, they looked slightly bashed, but they looked okay. With these, the paint job isn't perfect. And while that does look more realistic, for the interior of a spaceship, I really want it to look a lot more pristine. I'm sure there'll be some kind of texture pack options later on in development, which would be nice, but I would have liked the interior walls to have a smarter paint job. You can see the bits where it's not quite gone on right. Next, we have some spotlights set up because more colours. As you can see, same grey, but each of the other colours has a different version, which is slightly paler. If you can see, it's a bit brighter on the top and slightly paler and a bit more grey and bland on the bottom, which is, you know, not sure it's hugely important, but it's nice to have. It's nice that it's just there. It also means, because it creates the little borders, you can do patterns in the same colour on your ships, which is nice. Yeah. Next, we're going to have to fly down there. How are we going to fly down there, you ask? Well, we're going to get in the ship that I left over there. We're going to get in that ship and pretend like we're just flying over here. Whoop. Here's the first thing about this ship. You'll notice I added an extra cockpit. Why have I added an extra cockpit, you may ask? Well, the answer to that is they've actually made it possible to get in through the door on the back. Which is good. Obviously, if you cover up the front, then you won't be able to see in first-person mode. But I'm glad that you're able to get in through the back door still. So you can just get in through the back door there, and if you get out again, you'll be at the back door. So that's just a nice little feature, since there is actually a door there. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Next, possibly one of my favourite things from this update. This door, in multiplayer, will now sync up with other players. I haven't tested it, but it was in the patch notes that all of the different things, doors, lights, all these sorts of things will now sync up between players, which is fabulous. So now we'll go into this little ship where we can see, well, this little station. We can see the effect of all these new things. You can see I've coloured this area. This is entirely interior walls, along with this nice thing. It doesn't look too great on the outside, but if it was a slightly bigger station, I would probably cover that up with interior walls. I am really hoping that we get some interior, essentially interior horizontal, not horizontal, triangular walls, you know what I mean. So I've set up a few different rooms in here to show off. There's white. It's quite cool that you have the colours, but then you've got the little lights and things, and it's patterned rather than the entire thing just being coloured, which is nice. We've got the yellow section here for cargo and assembly. In here we have red for command, of course. And finally we have green for the refinery. And if we go behind the refinery, we will find the thing that I think the passages are best for. Maintenance shafts. Does that not look like the best maintenance shaft? It is perfect. Again, I would like to see a version that I can put here with maybe I can turn it sideways, but it's actually too thin for me to get in, so I have to leave this open area. I would like a version of this that was a bit more open, but you know, I can understand them not being in at the moment, but I would like to see them in at some point. Just more options, and a corner one would be very nice as well. A corner one would be fantastic. I suppose they were used mostly, they were probably designed more to be lifts, as it were, a replacement for ladders, but now that we could use them, and they do look so perfect for these. You've even got the open area, so you can use the ceiling. If I coloured the block above it a different colour, I could even use the ceiling to tell what section of the ship I'm in. Engineering, yellow, and whatever. So yeah, I can use that to get into special sections of the station for things like maintenance, which is just a really cool thing. And these options are great. Next, more cool things, grav generators. Well, what's cool about grav generators? Options, that's what. We have lots of options. Not only do we have the option to turn them on and off, we have the option to rename everything. I have not yet seen. I've been through pretty much everything. I'm pretty sure this was added in the latest thing. The interior lights can be nice and coloured. I think that was added in earlier. But yes, grav generators. Everything can be named whatever you want, which is going to be incredibly useful. But you also have these nice options here. You have the field width, field height, field depth, and acceleration. So how quickly you'll be pulled to it. Sort of the gravitational force, if you will. This is going to be... I cannot imagine how many cool things can be done with this. Also, I mean, we can have it set up now so that it will still give us gravity, but you can jump. Obviously, I can't now because I'm in a very small maintenance cupboard, but we can set it up so that you can jump more to a greater height than you would be able to otherwise. We can set it up so that you have... I mean, what we could set up with this, we could set up a tiny little section where you have a grav generator at the top, a grav generator at the bottom, and you could set up a very powerful and just as long as you need it grav generator for the top and bottom, and you could just make the grav field incredibly thin so it just covers the width and depth of the lift shaft. So you may not even need to jetpack. You could have it set up so that, okay, I turn on the lift at the bottom, I step in, and I just get pushed straight up to the top of there by the grav generator. And I could even set it up so that the field only reaches as far as the top of the lift. So as soon as I get to the top, I just float just at the top, and I can just step off, and I never have to use my I never have to use my jetpack even to use these lifts. Fantastic! I will try that in a future video. So, very exciting update, especially for station building, I think. It's interesting for large ships as well, but I think predominantly this is a station building patch. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, etc. Bye-bye!